I'm going to talk about liming or putting lime down for your peonies. And here I'm in front of or standing amidst a whole field of cut your own peonies. And lime is important for many plants, even your lawns. It's very important. Couple things about applying limestone is, are you in clay soils, sandy soils, loamy soils? Because that makes a difference. By the way, I'm Mark VA. One thing you have to do is measure the area that you might be dealing with. If you're going to lime an area that might be, quarter acre, half acre, or even a flower garden, you do need to know what the square footage is. I recommend granulated lime, as you see here. Many people are used to powdered lime, but that's really hard to apply. So through a fertilizer spreader, granulated lime works very well. Normally, to raise the pH a half a point, and we won't get into pH too much today, but pH is the relative acidity or alkalinity of the soil. And peonies like a pH of maybe 6.5 to 6.7. And that's probably perfect, generally speaking, for most plants. If you're dealing with azaleas and rhododendrons and acid-loving plants or gardenias, you're going to want a pH quite a bit lower. So those are areas that you may not put lime down on a somewhat regular basis. Now, right here, we're in the Shenandoah Valley. The soils tend to be clay-based, and the pH already might be, 6.2. But, the mountains on both sides, the Appalachian Mountains, in many cases have a pH lower, maybe 5.5. That's where you'll see some of the native blueberries growing when you're hiking through some of the mountains. So there can be a difference in pH. So that means you need to test your soil. So there are many ways you can test the soil and find out, the pH that you're dealing with on an existing basis. I'm pretty good at pacing off property. I could come up with an acre within 100 feet or 100 square feet, but not everybody can do it. I ask people, what's your square footage? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. And I try to get them to think, how many paces, depending on your footstep, each pace is about 3 feet in this direction, 3 feet in this direction. So if you took 3 paces that way, 3 this way, you're almost going to have 100 square feet. Might be 90 square feet, but close to 100 square feet. Applying lime, in many cases, right on the back of the bags here, they instruct you to apply so many pounds, and it's usually for 1,000 square feet. And that's going to be a 10-foot by a 100-foot area, and that's 1,000 square feet. So this bag here says, initially maybe 40 pounds of lime per 1,000 square feet. So once you get that formula set, you are ready to go. So I love dividing plants, by the way, and I use knives to do that. So you just come in here, and I like good heavy-duty spreaders. This is an old one we've probably had for 30 years. And I'm going to put 40 pounds. And this is where you can get a really good workout. Now, I'm going to go a little downhill, but imagine coming uphill. And if you do that for a couple hours, you will get in better shape. So you just go like this. And this spreader spreads around 6 feet in width. And once you finish, You're going to continue in the other direction. And you'll notice the peonies have not broken dormancy yet. So they really have just begun to grow. You might see a few buds here, so it's an ideal time to apply limestone in the garden. Now, if you had, flower beds around the house, you would apply it the same way, except you might apply it by hand. But again, it's important to understand that usually it's going to be 40 to 80 pounds per 1,000 square feet, depending if you have sand or clay, and that should raise your pH. Now, it's not instant. It's not like a nitrogen fertilizer. It may take time to become active in the soil and raise the pH, and over a course of a year, that'll raise it about 1/2 of a pH point. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time.